Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's John. So pretty much, if this is your first time coming on this channel, watching my videos or listening to stuff like this, I guess this is like a podcast, I guess I'll call it, then I guess I'll explain to you what my channel's about. Pretty much, I just talk about, mainly Marvel stuff. Sometimes I'll talk about Rick and Morty stuff, Steven Universe, Adventure Time, Fallout, because I really love that game. So, but mainly expect, Marvel, because that's the stuff I'm really into. Possibly some DC, because I really love the DC shows. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, what am I going to talk about in this? Well, I want to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I believe this will be the setup for Infinity Wars. Now, it's not, uncommon that S.H.I.E.L.D. has connected with the movies in some way. And in the last Avengers movie, Age of Ultron, they actually did connect in a big way. Coulson had given the Avengers, the location of that Hydra base where the twins are, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and Loki's scepter was revealed in the episode, along with, the Hellcarrier that Nick Fury uses to save all those people in Sokovia. So they have connected in a big way with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it looks like this season, it's not just like one plot after another and then fitting in the Avengers plot. We are literally doing a whole season sort of based on the Avengers and our choices. It seems like Destroyer of Worlds, Daisy Johnson, seems to be that, if she goes into this Captain America super soldier, chamber looking thing that Hale wants to put her in, this will make her powerful enough to destroy the Jatari ships and stuff. But it might make her so powerful she destroys the whole world. Although I have a theory that, I'm thinking that maybe Daisy Johnson fights Thanos. And because the Infinity Stones are so powerful, maybe she hits the Infinity Gauntlet with one of her sonic, waves or whatever from quaking it. And it makes the gems, have a chain reaction that cracks the whole planet. But it could also mean that it cracks the whole universe. We don't know. So we still don't have a lot of information, to be honest. We just know what people think they know. They think Daisy destroyed the world. Daisy thinks she destroyed the world. Maybe that's true. Maybe this is the season where we can't let Daisy, use her powers at all. And we were all wondering, too, for a while, how is she going to get her powers back? They can't remove the thing on her neck because it's too dangerous because it might kill her. But then we have the split personality change with Fitz recently, where he came back to be the Doctor, which I like that. It was very good. I'm pretty sure the Doctor is a character from the comics. I do not remember. I also love the fact that they had shown one of the Jatari ships at one point, because we're gearing up so close to Infinity Wars. Infinity Wars is actually coming out on a Friday. And when does Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come out at? What nights? All right, Friday nights. So, this is exciting. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know, if S.H.I.E.L.D. will ever be a part of the Marvel movies anymore. I would hope so. It seems like we're going to lose Coulson now. I'm okay if we lost Coulson, to be honest, This makes sense to me. The Ghost Rider, took his second chance away. I figured this was going to happen from last season. The way, it talked about it, the Ghost Rider totally would have hated that Coulson had cheated death. So, followed by, we also have this thing where now it seems like Daisy might become, the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because we've had these little things with Coulson saying, I need you to lead. So, it's all pretty exciting, especially if we're connecting it to Infinity Wars. So it looks like we are in a big, huge way. So, which I am excited for. But yeah, if we lost Coulson, how would this affect S.H.I.E.L.D.? Would there be a show still? Well, I believe two things. One, Coulson could die and Daisy becomes the new leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., trying to follow the examples of Coulson. Or two, Coulson dies, but he dies in Infinity Wars, and we get S.H.I.E.L.D. back into the movies for Phase 4. So that would be kind of neat. And then we could have, Nick Fury, come back for S.H.I.E.L.D., like actually be in the movies again. Because it seems like he's not a big part of the Marvel Universe anymore. Now, I can't remember her name. She is playing Ruby. Don't really know who she is, if she's from the comics. She might be from the newer ones. I only know really like Civil War, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Old Man Logan, and Infinity Gauntlet. And I know a lot of the 80s comics. I don't really know who she's supposed to be. I know that actress, though. I believe she is playing one of the villains of, like, one of the daughters of a villain in a Disney show, and I know she's the voice of Spider-Gwen in Ultimate Spider-Man. So, that is where... Oh, wait. I think her name's Dove Cameron. I think that's her name. I hope that's her name. I hope I got that right. Now, I'm going to talk a lot about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be talked about with this show that I am pretty excited for. For one, there's the possibility of, Mac dying. I mean, Yo-Yo talked to her future self about, there was fire, she wasn't there to do anything or whatever, and Mac had died or something, she couldn't save him. So, could Mac die this season? Yeah, he could die. We could lose a lot of people. So, but let's face it, we're expecting to lose a lot of people in Infinity War. So, I mean, this has been 5 seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've spent, 5 years, with a lot of these characters. So, am I going to be really sad if, Mac goes? Yeah, of course. The guy has a shotgun axe. That's, the coolest weapon ever. But seriously, there could also be the possibility of Yo-Yo dying. I mean, she thinks she's not going to die because, she's in the future, so, that it could very well be that she dies at some point and changes the loop. So... Because we had also a moment with Gemma at one point where Mac talks to her about it, and it seems like Gemma is thinking about using this to their advantage, which would be nice. I do like... Now, let's talk about Deke for a minute. I don't know Deke at all from the comics. I don't know if he's from the comics. If he is, he's my favorite so far. One of my favorite characters. So, I really like the idea that, he's Fitz and Gemma's grandson. I love how freaked out Fitz got because he doesn't want, that guy to be his grandson. He expected his grandson to be someone else. So, he was upset that his daughter goes and hooks up with a space mongrel or whatever to have a Deke. He's freaking out about that a little. So, and Gemma's like... we're going to be fine because, we had Deke, so that means we're going to work this out somehow. But let's not forget, they could have a baby and Fitz could still be, the doctor. I mean, let's not pull away from that. I could totally see Fitz, still being the doctor and Gemma having to raise her daughter all by herself for a while. I think Fitz will come out of it at some point. Fitz has come a long way, that framework really changed him. It did, emotionally and physically. I think with Ada. So, and also let's not forget, there's also the fact that in season 1 at the season finale, Fitz and Gemma were sent to the bottom of the ocean by Ward, and that gave them brain damage all of season 2. And yeah, it kind of got magically fixed during season 3, but, I assumed it, repaired itself eventually. But looking back now, it looks like it just, because of that brain damage, because of the framework with the 2 personalities, now he just has 2 personalities. The Doctor and Leopold Fitz. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not happy with Chloe Bennett, but I do not blame her for being angry with Fitz. I just want to say that, Fitz and Daisy, they have both, been through so much. Fitz has lied for Daisy, Fitz has protected Daisy. They've had all these nice moments, and I know that Fitz did this wrong thing, but I don't think Daisy should hold it against him. I really do think she should think about the fact that, he's suffered, all these the brain damage and the framework, he's suffered all that time, and, that really changes a person, yeah. So, and I really hate that she's not being more of a friend and wanting to help him. I really do think that he may die. He could very well die this season. I didn't even think about that. He could die and leave Gemma pregnant. So, I don't know. I don't know. So, now, there is another thing I wish to discuss, and that is Phil Coulson and May, and if they will, be able to have a little bit of a relationship before he has to, sadly, die. So, because, we've had, a bit of this thing where May does like Coulson, but, she won't admit it or so, or she, she's afraid to admit it. Maybe she's afraid to get attached because of what happened with Lash and Ward. So, I think she's a bit afraid of attachment sometimes. At least with relationships, not friendships. So I believe she would stick by friendships no matter what, but I do believe that she would be scared of relationships. So, now, I do want to talk about something that was very interesting. We still don't know who the alien is that showed Coulson the Chitauri ship. Now, I know it's the actor who played the, he was the guy from Spartacus, Gods of the Arena and stuff. He was like the trainer or whatever, like the gladiator teacher, so, who taught him how to fight and stuff. But I wonder who it's supposed to be. So, I thought it was Kree because of the writing in the background of the room that they're in, but I don't think it's Kree. He's definitely someone else. Could he be, connected to, the holocrons somehow? No, holocron. I think that's what they're called. Whatever that guy was that helped Fitz get to the future. I don't remember what he was. I think he was called holocrons or something. They live a really long time because they're not really human or something. They're like machine or energy or something. Now, I'm going to talk about another thing that I think is very interesting, but I'm a little upset with, but it's very interesting at the same time, and that is Hydra. Now, I just want to say, Hydra is the most overused villain in S.H.I.E.L.D., in my opinion. I think he's used way too much. I think Hydra is used way too much for the villain of S.H.I.E.L.D., so, or at least, in S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, if not a villain, because there have been other villains like Hive and the Inhumans, the Framework, so, but just Hydra's an overused villain a little bit. But what's interesting about this Hydra is that, this is about, Hydra being sort of rebuilt differently. Like General Hale, as we know, spoilers, even though I've been talking spoilers, you guys should have guessed this with spoilers. You know, she is, or was, you know, a student in that underground bunker, wherever she is, where they were doing the Hydra, like, teaching students the Hydra. Sorry, I said that really weird. I mean, Hydra students being taught there. There, I said it. Thank God. Don't you hate that when you can't speak and say words and you just say, like, made-up words? Or you just say words weird and now you don't. Never mind. Now, she was a student there. Now, the guy with glasses, I think that's the bald guy with glasses in Winter Soldier. And he was also in first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I believe he was in Thor. So, he's been around. And I also think he was in the first Avengers movie. So, I think that was like his younger self there. That's who I believe was there. I like that Whitehall came back. He was an interesting Nazi guy from, you know, World War II that Peggy Carter had, you know, captured. It is sort of shitty that, you know, she was recruited to be, you know, sort of like a surrogate there. Like, she became, like, you know, she had to bear a child or something, but a child with special traits. So she could become, you know, a world killer or whatever for the super soldier program, but she doesn't think her daughter's ready. So, you know, she wants to get Daisy Johnson instead, but we're talking about Hydra. We already talked about that a little bit. Back to Hydra. Now, it seems, though, that when Hydra fell, General Hale had killed one of the last teachers there, and Ruby and Hale had become the last two Hydra members in the base. And it seems though Hale has rebuilt Hydra in certain ways. You know, she's doing stuff differently. She's not technically, you know, sort of going out and saying she's Hydra, although Hydra's never really done that. But I think she's, you know, doing Hydra a bit differently. If she is running Hydra, I feel like we should have seen this coming with Hydra. You know, we're recruiting all the old people from, you know, previous seasons with Hydra. We also had Van Strucker. I think that's his last name, Von Strucker, which is like a feared name in the comics. It's actually kind of funny because in the X-Men show, The Gifted, there are two children called the Von Struckers, and the Von Strucker twins in the comics are like two very powerful mutants that combine their powers to create devastating, you know, destruction. But moving back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel like we should have seen it coming because, one, you know, there was that moment with Ruby and Von Strucker saying, or Von Strucker saying to Ruby, we used to play it together. You hit your head on my table. That's how you got that scar on your head. You know, that should have been an indication to us that, you know, Hale is connected to the Von Struckers, and maybe Hale is Hydra. We should have maybe guessed that. She recruited Crusher Creel, who is just, you know, it seemed like he was just jogging. He's trying to, like, move on with his life a little bit, but then, you know, seems though he's found purpose now with Hydra again. So yeah, Hydra's been this is a different Hydra to me. This isn't like the ones we've seen before. This is like a whole different Hydra for me. And I'm okay with that. Now, there is one thing I've been mad about this whole season. It's been bothering me a few times. Maybe it's been bothering other people too. But Yo-Yo, with her super speed, it feels like we've been dimming that down. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, because in real life, someone would use their super speed just to take down the enemy and, you know, do that. You know, when Yo-Yo, in the episode where she, spoilers, lost her arms, she had, when Ruby was with, you know, her robot soldiers, Yo-Yo had just taken their guns. She could have, like, taken them down. Also, I don't understand, Ruby's weapon there, her little disc weapon. I feel like if Yo-Yo's moving that fast, how could she have, lost both of her arms to that weapon? I was a little upset by that. But also I was freaked out, because I was like, oh my god, Yo-Yo just lost her arms. Holy shit. But on other news with Yo-Yo, well, not news, but stuff to talk about with Yo-Yo, there is something I'm wondering. Her new arms, they are robotic arms. I figured she was going to get those because we saw like a flashback or something from Robin's, future vision or whatever. Yo-Yo had arms then, so, I figured she was going to robotic arms, but I'm wondering, how fast is she going to be able to move now? I can't imagine she's going to move very fast now because, her body can move fast, but the metal is not her real parts of her body. It's, metal, not like the inhuman, body she has. So, is it going to, change the way she moves? Could they, fall off at that speed? I mean, I don't know. I imagine they're not going to go into the science about it. I feel like her arms will work with her speed, and we just won't engage the science about it because they don't want to explain it to us. Now, I guess one of the last things, a couple of the last things I want to talk about is I want to talk about Piper, and I want to talk about Deathlok. Now, Piper, I've never super liked her, but I'm hoping she gets more and more character development. It seems like we're getting more and more now this season. And then, with Deathlok, now I was really upset with the 100th episode, but okay, I guess that'll be the final thing I talk about. Deathlok, I like that he came back. I just don't understand why he left, though, after he helped them. And I'm wondering what he's doing out there in the world. And whatever he's doing out there in the world, I feel like the government would be after him because of the Accords. They all enhanced people now have to sign the Accords, including Inhumans. So, at least we got him for the 100th episode because he was in the first ever episode of the series. Now, talking about the 100th episode real fast. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I totally did not hate it. Alright? I know I just said oh, I really hate it. I don't really hate it. I did actually like it. There was some stuff I was disappointed with, though. One, I was really hoping that, maybe Ward would show back up. I didn't understand why that guy didn't show back up. I know they showed, a picture of him with one of Coulson's flashbacks in that episode, but that was it. I was expecting to actually see Ward. We got, I was really expecting to lose a character, and I was sort of upset we didn't. I didn't understand, though, why, Coulson didn't get sucked into the rift of that void thing, that crack from the monoliths, like they said he should have if he went down there to go put that in. And no, I don't just believe Deathlok, had the strength to hold him. Deathlok, I feel like, would have been sucked in too. So, I feel like Coulson maybe should have died there. So, I don't know. The 100th episode wasn't, super exciting for me, but, wasn't the worst episode, because I did like it. I didn't love it all the way, though. So, I mean, I don't really have too much else to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think it's been a great season. I've not had really any problems with it. I will say it took me a few episodes to really get into it because, like the 5th season, not the whole series, took me a couple episodes because, you know, time travel stuff, when you go to the future and it's all destroyed, you know, it sort of feels pointless to even do that if we're just going to go back in time and fix it. And I really kind of wish I didn't get to know those people in the future because, you know, they're not going to matter now. So, I don't know. Like, but I will say once they got back to Earth, that's when it started getting good for me. But anyway, guys, if you liked, you know, this video, podcast, you know, or any of my other videos, you know, hit that like button and press subscribe. This is one of many videos I'm going to make. I'm probably going to do a podcast of something Marvel each week. For the rest of the week, I might do daily videos of Fallout, so, because I want to do gaming videos, but I may also do daily videos of Marvel anyway, so I don't know. Might even do theory videos, because I like to do theory videos. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you stick around to watch more videos. Anyway, guys, see you around.